Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. My name is Rob Murgatroyd, and I am a former doctor turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I interview some of the best minds on the planet on the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Today's episode is a mini-sode that we call Fri-Date with the Wife. In these mini-sodes, my wife Kim and I deconstruct the strategies that we've developed over the last decade to not only grow personally, but to turn our struggles into lessons and create fulfillment in all areas of our lives. Excuses are over. It's time to live. Let's dig into today's topic. All right, before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to be considered for my Work Hard, Play Hard Mastermind by completing an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. So this mastermind is not like any mastermind you may have been to or heard of, I promise you. This mastermind is for 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs that are working too damn much and aren't taking the time to have amazing experiences around the world with an incredible tribe of people. So every 100 days or so, I drop you into new experiences that are specifically designed to elevate your thinking, to give you new ideas. Look, you get your best ideas not staring at a computer. And actually, this is the way high-level people really collaborate with each other. They do it over a glass of champagne, watching the sunset in the south of France. And we'll be doing things just like that. In fact, we'll be taking a vintage car ride through the French Riviera this summer, and we'll be truffle hunting in Florence in the fall, to name just a few of the experiences so that I can give you a feel for it. So if you are ready to do some fun stuff around the world and really, really want to level up your tribe in one shot, fill out an application at workhardplayhardmastermind.com. We'll jump on a call and we'll see if it's a good fit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Well, Kimberly, I am not a leg-humper, Murgatroyd.
Oh my good God.
How are you? I know we just read a post from our friend Chris Harder, and it was on leg-humping.
He coined this term to describe people who are trying to climb the, let's say, the social marketing online business ladder as leg humpers.
But it applies to anything, any industry.
It is the most wonderful word. And because, you'll see someone.
Well, let's sort of define it.
I'm going to.
What is a leg humper?
I'm going to. So when someone comes into a business or into some sort of, group or environment, you can always tell the person that's trying to find out who there can help them the most, who is going to make them look better. If I just get that person to do an IG takeover, then, I'll skyrocket. And if I can just get that person to take a picture with me and I can post it, it's going to catapult me into the universe. And by the way, none of that is true, because I remember with Lewis talking about Ellen, and Lewis has been on the Ellen show 3 times, and it didn't sell a ton more books. I mean, his audience bought his books because that's who knows him, right? So just because Ellen is there doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to all of a sudden, catapult you into superstardom. So the leg humper. So I have been, ever since he wrote this post, I have been using this term leg humper any chance I can, because it is the best phrase ever.
Why is it that you find it, it's a funny phrase, but what is it that hits home to you about this?
Well, so when you are in, let's say I'm in network marketing, right? So you come into network marketing and we have built this amazing tribe of people, and, people pay their, membership fee and they order their products and they're loving it. And they think it's like instant tribe. And that it gives them an all access free pass to say whatever, do whatever, act however, feel entitled to everything. And the same, I would suspect, goes for masterminds. You pay for the mastermind and you're put together with a cohort of 30 to 40 people, and you think all of them are obligated to be your best friend. And that's actually not the case. And so when you join events or join a mastermind, join a network marketing team, go to events, you are entering a large group of people that are all like-minded in some way, shape, or form, that are probably all around the same level, maybe like in a mastermind, same level of income, same level of expertise in whatever it is. And that's what you're buying into. But the rules of engagement still apply. Like you can't walk in and be the leg humper just because you paid your money to get in. Like the ticket to admission is not an all access pass to every person in there.
Yeah, what you're getting with a mastermind, as an example, you can walk into the mastermind and I'm going to put you into a room with people that are in, your economic bracket or higher, that, have been pre-screened to be great people, authentic people, et cetera. But that's kind of where it ends. I mean, if you don't do the work to connect with those people in a meaningful way where you're providing value for them and they're providing value for you, then you can hump their leg all day long. But like anything else, it's gonna come out in time that you're the leg humper. Don't be the leg humper.
Don't be the leg humper. And so today I thought we would just go over a few, let's call them rules to not be the leg humper. Okay.
What's so funny about this, and it wouldn't matter anyway, because nobody listening would actually know anybody I'm talking about. But when I think of certain people that are coming to mind, male and female, and I think about this thing, I cannot not see them
humping a leg. I know.
And so I get this visual that is so funny to me that every time I'm laughing out loud.
It's a leg humper. And by the way, this could be in your office. They called it like a brown noser. This could be in school, whatever. The leg humper is just the best freaking term ever. So if you really want to up-level your tribe.
His post said there's a lot of leg humping going on out there, people.
It's so funny. So if you really, really want to up-level your tribe, you have to do it in an authentic way. And it's really important that you follow some general guidelines of, normalcy. And it's hard, okay? I'm going to say this. It can be really hard because let's say you're in the fitness space and you walk into an event, like whatever the event is. It doesn't even have to be like a mastermind. It could just be a big open event. And you see across the room, Chalene Johnson. All you want to do is hump that leg as hard as you can because you know that if you could just get all of her knowledge downloaded on a little, SD card or did they still use those? Mm-hmm. On a little card, it would make your life complete. But the reality is that's not going to happen. And you, like Rob said, there's like a protocol to this of being like a real friend, providing massive value. And eventually it may happen, but you can't just make a beeline and start humping the leg, right? So let's talk about this. So I don't care if you go in a network marketing team, that's what I can speak mostly to, or whatever it is. If you want to be a part of a tribe, you have to show up. You got to show up. If there's events, you got to show up. You have to communicate. You have to be there for other people and not just asking and be what we like to call an ask hole. Okay. So you have the ask hole, and we've talked about the ask hole in the past. The ask hole is the one that asks you a gazillion questions, but takes very little action, but keeps asking you the same version of the same, or a different version of the same question for like 10 years. And so we have termed that the ask hole because we know that person is going to ask all these questions, but for what reason? So they have this mental database of things that they're never going to take action on. And, don't be the ask hole when you show up. Be the person that shows up and provides massive value. So you are putting yourself in a tribe of people that you want to be a part of. You better provide some value. That doesn't mean, by the way, being somebody's bitch. That means showing up as yourself, authentically yourself. Lori Harder said this so well at her event she did here in Atlanta. When you're trying to fit in, if you're the person that shows up at the event and you're trying to fit in, and I've been this girl, okay, because I'm like socially awkward. So when you're trying to fit in, the only thing you're going to attract is other people that are also trying to fit in. And then you got a bunch of people who can't be themselves because of fear of whatever, sitting in a circle wondering why no one wants to talk to them. So don't try to fit in.
If you are liking my posts, sharing my posts, and giving me words of encouragement, feedback, sending me a message saying, hey, you said something, did something that provided tremendous value. When you go for the 1-2 punch of, can I pick your brain? Do you think that I'm going to be more receptive to you? Because look, we know who's liking and sharing our posts. We know who is saying positive and encouraging things. And we also know the people that, I'm using social media as an example because we all have that in common. And we also know who isn't doing those things and then comes out of nowhere with a 3-page request of what they would like me to do for them. Who am I stopping for and who am I helping?
Well, it's kind of like this. Like I could write a post, and again, we're going to use social media. And again, this isn't about horse trading. This is about creating a real relationship. Because if you were my friend in person and you just want it, like, let's just say this is not social media. Let's put this on the street. Okay. So if you're walking down the street and you see Rob Murgatroyd walking down the street and you don't know Rob, are you going to walk right over and go, hey, can I pick your brain? I know you have a podcast. Can I pick your brain? Or are you going to go, hey, Rob, oh my God, I listen to your podcast. This means so much to me or whatever. Like I subscribed. I am always sharing your stuff. Like there's going to be a little foreplay in that before you just pick his brain. But for some reason that like doesn't happen as much on social media. So another example is like someone will write a heartfelt post that's really good or really descriptive or something. And then some person will comment, can I share this? As opposed to, oh my God, this really impacted me and, you know, what they loved about it. Because obviously if they want to share it, then there's, you know, something they loved about it. It's just like, may I please share this? You know, so just remember common courtesy on social media and in person, provide value to other people. And this came straight from Gary Vee. Provide that value. So when you go to ask for the help, they're more inclined to want to help you. All right.
I'll even go a step further. Another level of this, you and I haven't actually talked about this, but I've seen this happen a lot. So I will, along with you, build a network of people that are high quality, really, really great people that are doing big things. And somebody who's just sort of like entering our atmosphere will want to tap into that network. And instead of making proper introductions by, you know, providing value and asking me, hey, I'd love to connect with XYZ person, they just sort of like go around and infiltrate them into the network and, you know, send messages like, you know, I know you're a friend of Rob's, and making the assumption that we're, number one, actually friends, and number two, that I've recommended that they reach out. And so they're now going from humping one leg to humping another leg and using the leverage of somebody in between. And the point is that you don't have to do that. And if you think that people don't see that, you're wrong. We know who's providing value.
Well, and they know too. So, and like we're speaking to the people here, but many of you are probably getting leg humped as well. So it's like, we're not talking to leg humpers. We're talking to everybody. It's kind of like there's always somebody like richer than you. There's always someone poorer than you, right? There's always someone you're probably trying to hump their leg and someone's probably trying to hump yours somewhere along the way. So don't be offended by this in this way. We're just trying to give some really tactical advice on how to up-level your tribe without being like the leg-humper scarlet letter.
Or actually be offended if you're doing it. And use that to, I mean, honestly, here's one of the things. I mean, this is a true statement. What I'm learning with coaching is that if you're not going to be the person that is going to be honest with somebody, no growth is going to happen.
That's true.
So for me, I am much better saying something that makes me a little uncomfortable and ultimately them uncomfortable, with the goal of not being belittling, obviously, but with the goal of shining a light on an area that they can get better at.
All right. And the next one is boundaries. Okay. So there's this thing, it's called sensory acuity. And sensory acuity is going to be using your senses to see if what you're saying or doing with someone is landing. Okay. So sensory acuity is kind of like when you're talking to somebody at a party and you can kind of tell that person's done with the conversation and they want to move on, but like you're still talking. Have sensory acuity, be mindful of other people's time, be mindful of keeping them somewhere that they don't want to, read people so you can tell whether or not they are into it, not into it. And, Lori talks about this too. Lori Harder, she has a book called The Tribe Called Bliss, and she has a bunch of, I don't want to call them rules. I can't remember what she called them now, but there's a bunch of, let's call it rules for the sake of this conversation, about how you enter, agreements. They're not rules, they're agreements. So there's a lot of these agreements. And I remember her saying, you may really, really want to be friends with someone, and you may see in them like the perfect bestie. And you may be trying to connect with that person and trying to become friends with that person, but it just might not be your time. That person may be in a place that they're looking for something different in a bestie, or they have too many besties right now and they're needing to tone down on the bestie department. Like, it just may not be your timing, but it may happen down the road. So don't force it. Also, don't be offended by it, because we're all just trying to do our best here, right? And, a lot of people, like, I'm very introverted. And so if I'm attacked by a lot of people wanting to talk, I can shut down, because I probably seem like rude, but I'm just much more introverted. Rob is a situational extrovert. He can play the role, but then he's going to go back and hide in his cave later. So have some sensory acuity.
A great way of understanding sensory acuity, if you're having trouble understanding it, is don't mistake somebody being polite with being interested.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and do this for yourself as well. And I always really try to be kind and polite and all of that. But there are times where, I have to create some boundaries in my life. And it's not necessarily, and I'm not talking about public events, I'm just talking about life. Okay. So have some boundaries for yourself, and also respect other people's boundaries when it comes to friendship and leg humping. Comparison.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something, because I heard somebody describe it. It was what is her name? She's the one, Kristen Bell. Her husband, Dax Shepard, has a podcast, and he was talking about nervous neurons, he calls it. And nervous neurons are, sometimes, like, if you go see, I'll give you an example. Sometimes you go see a comedian, and the comedian is really nervous, and he's trying to, like, sort of overcompensate, but he's nervous and you feel it. The neurons that he's putting out, like the nervous neurons, you can't even hear what he's saying, because you're getting hit with these nervous neurons, and now you're nervous for him. And then you both have this, like, nervous neuron thing that's going on back and forth. I think there's a little bit of that when you're not in your own body, when you're not connected to who you are and you're playing the comparison game, then it's very difficult for that person who is being sort of the brunt of the comparison to feel comfortable with you, because they're picking up the nervous neurons from you.
Energy is everything.
Energy is everything. That they start twitching because you're twitching, and then you got because they feel you're twitching.
You
right?
feel your energy.
So you got this nervous neuron energy with the two of you.
Yeah, that's a really good one, because I've definitely been that person, and I think you gave Donnie Deutsch some nervous neurons. You remember that one? And if you don't know who Donnie Deutsch is, he's like a TV personality, MSNBC. And Rob loved him. He used to have a show called The Big Idea.
It's easy to do, because what happens is, if you're not prepared for it and you walk into a room and
you see someone you really admire,
or you just, you have a couple glasses of champagne, you're tired, or you're whatever the state that you're in, your default behavior takes over, and then you just start acting weird.
Yeah.
And you just become
nervous neurons.
Weird. And then so the person, nervous neurons. And then the person is going, okay, well, this is weird. Okay. and then what's worse is they leave and you leave, and you're like, no, I'm really not like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not that bad. All right. The last thing on the list is gossip. So, look, word travels, right? And if you are a person everyone here is a person, but if you are a person that will partake in the listening to, or the hearing of, or the speaking of gossip, then it's going to get around. And people, especially if you're in that world of like personal development and getting better and whatever, it is really, really hard to shake the I'm a gossiper label. that will get put on you. Because what happens is if you come to me and gossip about someone else, guess what I know? I know that you are going to someone else and gossiping about me. And I don't think the true gossiper really realizes this. And I think they just, circle the globe gossiping about the next person that is going to be what they think they can connect with someone over,
Yeah, then what happens is once you become that person who's the gossiper and known for that gossip, then the people that are around you go, well, I'm not going to connect with this person because I know, like I'm thinking there's one particular person that's in my head right now. And
by the way, on all of these things, can't you just, there's like a person that pops up.
Yeah. And I know like I'm standing here right now that if I have a conversation with this person and I share anything, I know that she is going to, oh, I said she. Okay, but I didn't say who. I know that she is, I gotta be careful. I know that she is going to tell everybody everything that I just told her in confidence, 100%.
Yes. And so you have to be very mindful. Now, if you become the person with the gossip label, now everyone's going to curtail their conversations.
That was my next point.
Yeah.
That there's no level of intimacy that's going to be created because you can't connect with somebody that you can't trust.
You can't trust. And so, as fun as it is to partake in a little bit of juicy gossip here and there, it's really detrimental, especially when you're trying to up-level your tribe, because tribes are built on connecting, trust, honesty. And I would much rather someone come to me and say, hey, you did something that kind of irritated me, pissed me off, hurt my feelings, than tell 20 people around me and let me hear it through the grapevine, because that's, not going to work out in the end. It's going to damage the relationship. So,
well, that was good, honey. That was really, really good.
Just to recap our leg humper episode, show up if you want to up level your tribe and not be the leg humper. Show up as yourself. Don't show up as some version of yourself that is, going to give off nervous neurons. Don't always make it about you. Do not always make this about you. Really find value in helping people. Enjoy the process of helping another and adding value to their life without a perceived exchange. Set boundaries for yourself and respect the boundaries of others. Use sensory acuity. Don't play the comparison game. You don't have to be better than someone to make you feel good, and you don't have to feel like dog pile because this person, it appears, is doing better than you. And don't gossip. That's about it. So that's what I got for you. I hope you're not going to be a leg humper. I hope I'm not a leg humper. If anybody sees me humping a leg, please feel free to call me out on it. Rob, I will call you out on it.
I feel like there's a joke in the humping somewhere here, but I'm going to leave it at that. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks for listening. If you love this episode and you know someone that needs some help in either stepping up their work hard game or their play hard game, it would mean the world to me if you shared this podcast with them to help me get this movement out there. So if you like what you heard, head on over to iTunes, take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review, and I will be forever grateful. So until the next episode, excuses are over. It's time to live.